Hello friends, hope you're doing well. I'm again here to talk about the next set of data structure and algorithm problems, right? So we're starting a new, you can say, series of different set of problems in arrays. So the first problem that we're going to look at is how to insert an element at a specific array position. Okay, so let's see. So we'll go through into two kind of I would say problems, as you know might have seen that one is of course brute force or very you know easygoing technique, right? That doesn't care much about performance as it cares about implementing the functionality itself. Sometimes we call brute force as well. And then of course after understanding that we'll try to make it more efficient approach on the same problem, and then we'll see how that goes. Okay, so that you get a flavor of that how we can make it better as well. Okay, so with that, let's begin. So of course, whatever code I'm going to write, that would be available into this place. And it is my GitHub, you can say place. So you can check under DSA folder. Okay, so let's begin. So I'll start implementing. Just give me a moment. Yeah, so as you can see, this is a folder where I'm keeping all my artifacts, whatever I'm coding. So I'm keeping it over here so that you can get a sense that okay, so I'm going to write this code on this test file so that you understand, and of course I'll after that I'll put into the respective folders. So let's begin. So in this you can see that I just have a namespace created for the solution, and also I just have a class created. Okay, so let's get going. So for that I'm going to create a method that will be called from, let's say, program, or you can say starting point. So let's begin. So public static, I want this to be static void, and let's give name this driver because it is going to be called from client, or you can say program. uh, to make things simpler, I'm just creating a array of maybe 6 element, you can say, and of course 5 element would be there with its by default, and then we'll try to uh, insert one element in a different positions of that array. Okay, so let's say declare it int array. As you notice that I'm coding in C#, but it's very much similar to Java and C++ if you are coming from that background, so you can very much relate to it. It's pretty close. So I'm declaring a new variable. So new array, basically new int, and let's say I'm giving a size of 6. Okay, and I'm then putting different numbers at different places. Okay, so let's say I'm putting, I'm just declaring them. So at 0th position, I'm giving, let's say 2. At first position, let's say I'm giving, we can give any number that we wanted. The primary thing is understanding the concept, how this works, and less about numbers. So array second position, let's say I'm giving 1. Third position, I noticed that in most C type languages, the array index begins from 0, right? So here, let's say I'm giving 8. And the last one, we'll keep one place for new element as well, that will try to insert at different positions, that let the user decide that at what position and what value the user wants to insert, right? That is a there is a whole problem we are dealing with, that how we can insert any element or any value at a specific position. Okay, a specific array in index position to be precise. So let's say I'm giving it here. Okay, so these were the elements or values that we kind of started the this array, and we know that okay, this is overall this array is going to be, so it can take 6 element basically, and we have this at this point we have number, like we have 5 numbers here. Okay. So with that, let's begin. uh, Start coding for more. So we can do one thing, we can print, get the value printed, just to make sure that whatever we have inserted it gone clearly. So I'm kind of printing console dot write line, write, or write line, we can put anything, and we'll try to insert what is the number, what we're trying to print basically, that okay, before insertion, what is how the array looks like. So this is not recognizing because I need to include a library, and for that is going to be, I guess, system library. So it's loading, yeah, using system. So with that, it will recognize it is a BCL, folks. Base class library is like a library, system library, you can imagine, and it is not recognizing. I think I did some typo. I missed E. So console.write line. Okay. So let's see console dot here write line. L is capital here. So before insertion, how the values are, I'm printing them. Okay. So again, for loop, we'll start from 0 equal to 0. We have basically, we have length of 6 elements, but we have just 5, I would say 5 elements at this point. So we can deal with it in different ways. Either we can store this length size, let's say for example int n equal to, let's give the n is the size of this array. So array dot, let's see, we have a property already, array dot length, so it will tell the overall I would say size of the array. So we can go we can go till, let's say, n, and then of course a typical I++, and then let's see, let's get it printed. So console dot write, we can put write so that all elements can come into one line, and what we can do is array, the name of this is basically this, we have this array already. So array of I is a counter, so array of I, and just we can keep one space as well, just to make sure there is some space among these numbers. So we can keep do like that. So let's see that how the numbers are getting printed. I'm running it. Okay, it says building or compiling, and then it will print. Okay, it's the first time, so it's like taking a bit of time, but yeah, it's pretty fast. So you can see it printed 241850. As you can see, it's why 0, because there is nothing out here at this point. We have not filled anything on array of 5/5 because we want to play around with that. That's why it is coming as 0, but you can see 24185 are very much inserted, and it is printing. Okay. To make sure that okay, you want to even more specific, then you can do like this, array of n minus one. So you're not even going to into the last element that is not yet, I would say, assigned. So if I print, it is simply printing 24185. So we are good here. Move on. So that was that how array is standing before even making any change. Now what we can do is we can ask users that hey, what position you want anything to be inserted and what is the value. So to make it more clearer, we can simply I would say put a statement that okay, please enter the position followed by value. That okay, what value you want it to be uh, inserted on any position. So followed by value. So this is just a message to more make it more user, I would say, clear message that what exactly we want, and we can store this into some kind of a, I would say, variable, right? The inputs. So let's say I'm taking list of integer because those elements are essentially going to be integer. So list of integer. I could have taken even array, but yeah, I'm just taking a generic type integer. So let's say I'm taking input equals to console. It is not recognizing because the generic library is not yet included, so I'm adding that as well. So yeah, list of using system collection generic. I think in different platform you will find little different naming, but yeah, essentially the concept is that we are including the library that has the implementation or of this particular system. You can say system method or system implementation. So console dot read line because we want not just one but both the values to be passed by just that. So read line, and we are expecting them to be separated by space. So we'll split them by maybe a space. Then of course it has to be to list so that it is able to basically get into that list type variable. So to list, and by default you folks know that read line gets into the string type, but we have taken this is integer because both are basically essentially going to be the numbers, and hence we also need to convert them into the integer. So how to do that? We can use the link method for that. Other ways that we can loop, but I think since out of the box we have this, we can use this. So I'm just putting like using the link. Link again is library for such data manipulation stuff and maybe sometime even database operations. But yeah, I'm just limiting it to manipulation of different types. So select, and again X. Folks who know how this syntax of link, so they can relate to this is a way to uh, use that. So again convert dot, I'm converting into integer, so to int 32, and what I'm doing this for x. X is basically element, and this is going to be again to list so that it can go into that to list. Let's see if this works. I hope it does. Okay, what's the problem here? uh, okay, link we need to insert, like we need to add into this solution. So now you can see the errors gone. So basically with that input list variable will have will have those value like what is a position, index position, and what is the value. Okay. Okay, so now let's create a few other variables to key hold those. So int pos positions equal to input. So first we are taking position, so input of 0 will have that, and let's say create another one. Let's say give a name x, and that will be value. So input of 1 will have the value of it. Okay. So basically we got input. Now we can create one helper method for that instead of making this, because we are, as you remember, we also discussed that we'll create one, the not so efficient one initial implementation and followed by the efficient one, right? So that way we can change that, okay, which method we're calling. So let's say I'm creating a private variable, not variable, sorry, private method, because it won't be called from outside this class, but from the method itself. So it's a good idea to keep the uh, boundaries or keep the access, relevant or minimal. So again, public, sorry, private static. I don't want any return. So, and let's say this is the main method that will basically insert any value at a specified position, a new value at a specified position. So insert element, and I need to have basically array, okay, and then I need to have basically size. I can also get from size from array. The thing is, so in that case, since we have taken already there, so we can put it. Otherwise, we can directly get the size even on this insert element method. So just for simplicity, I'm just taking again here, and the value that we ask, like, from users, that hey, what value you want to be inserted and what position you want to be inserted. So both will consider both here as input parameters. Okay. So again, it is going to be elementary way, not so efficient. The goal is to get something done real quick. When I say get something done, basically the mean is that get something. Something means value inserted at a position on the array, right? So as you can imagine, it is a kind of loop thing, because we need to loop traverse through all the elements. So I have a real quick one for loop coming in. So int I equal to 0. I need to go till basically and already we have taken, and of course I need to go through and to keep increasing. Okay, so think about it. So basically what we're doing is we're starting from 0, and we are traversing the I'm again calling it this method here. Okay, so the name is insert element, right? So I do have the array there, array is there. I have n as well, I have x as well, I have pos as well. So I'm just making a call there. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's keep going. Yeah, so basically coming back, so we're starting from 0 and we are going all traversing all the way till how much array size is, and we we got to insert this x at a specified position, right? And this is a loop that is running. So let's say we want something to be inserted at a second position, right? So first we need to see that, okay, whether I counter, that is the I is a counter, whether counter is matching with the position that where we want to insert on, right? So that is the key for us. If yes, then of course we'll do certain things, right? And what are those certain things we'll see. So the first thing is that in this loop, if I is matching with the position that we are looking for. So let's say I is 2. So if it is starting 0, nothing will happen. It won't match. It will come out. First, nothing will happen, and second, it will go inside because it matched basically the position where we want to insert the value. So if I equal to C sharp, we need to, for matching, we have to put double equal. So I equal to position. Yes, to go inside. What to do? Again, to make I would say counters simple, we can have one, I would say one small variable called, let's say, counter. So keep a track of, and let's say we are we know that how many elements are there, right? So this is a so at this point it has, like, we got n, right? So n are the length of the array, but we don't have all the elements at this point, so we'll have one less. So I'm putting n minus 1 for that purpose. There's a counter. We're starting, because index start from 0. So this is the number, how many elements. So I'm giving that. I'm just trying to balance that counter part, because length is always more than the size, because size start, like the counter index position, because counters index position start from 0, and length start from basically how many elements, right? So there is, we need to counter should be like less than one, like less than 1 number less than the overall length. So there is a counter. Then yeah, so basically what we're doing is, in an elementary method, is that once we found the position, right, we'll start from, as you can see, n minus 1 means we're starting from end. We will need to create one more loop so that we can change it. So while, and this it is just find something and do it. It's elementary one, so that's why it is not so efficient. We'll do efficient as well. So while counter is greater than position where we are in. So let's say we're in, I was giving example of 2. So let's say we have 5, right? And minus n is, I think, 6 in this case. So counter is 5. So we'll start from 5 and we'll go until the positions. Position is, let's say, 2. So until this is greater than the position, basically. And what is the position here? I, right? So until counter is greater than I. So what we are basically going to do is, we're going to, you can say, right shift the elements, right? Now you can imagine why we are doing this, so that we can create one room for the element that we're going to insert on a position, right? So we are moving elements right side from the position where we want to insert on. So there's a trick we are, or you can say technique we are applying here to find a way for a new element. So while counter is greater than I in this case, so we'll keep a loop there, and yeah, we'll keep a loop, and then what we're going to do is we're going to extend it, right? That I told, we're going to right shift. So for right shift, what we're going to do is that, okay, array of, okay, we're going to do array of counter, and the counter, let's say this time it is, this time let's say, let's take the same example, right? So counter is, in this case, it will be 5. So what is that in 5? A prior element, right? What is the prior element would be? Array of counter minus 1. So basically it is like we are moving elements in a right shift. Basically we are inserting in a fifth position, we are inserting the fourth one. In a fourth position, we are inserting the third one. In a third position, we are inserting a second one, right? And we're keeping the second position free so that we can insert the number that user have inserted. User wants to put a new number on a specified position. So we're keeping that I would say position free so that we can insert it there, and we are moving the elements rightwards. Okay, and while this is happening, we also need to, since we are starting from top, so, or higher side in array, so we need to also start this counter should be keep decreasing. Okay, and as you notice, this will go until the I is found, means the ith position will be free because we moved the element rightwards. Now since I is free, what I will do is array of I is, and what is the value we want to insert? X, right? It will be X. Okay. So this was the elementary, technique, folks. Let's run it, and then we'll see how we can make it efficient, right? So to run this, okay. So again, I'll copy paste here for, I would say, to save our time, because it's going to be again a loop stuff. So before insertion, now we'll say after insert. Okay, and yeah, and nothing changes here. Now we got an element, so we don't need to remove this n minus one, because we do have a new element inserted, and we can simply print it. So let's run this. Okay, it's compiling. Okay, so before, okay, so it is asking us page insert. I think we can keep one space here, so or one line still here, so that it is clearer. Okay, so let's say I want to insert. First, we need to insert the position. So let's say I want to insert, position. Let's say on second position, I want to insert 100. Okay, so as you can see, it inserted zeroth, first, second position 100, and also it moved the other elements in a right side or right shifted. So that's what we exactly wanted, right? That 0, 2, 4, 100, and then in second position we inserted 100, and then we moved other element in the right side. So exactly working how we wanted, right? But as you notice, this technique is not so efficient. The reason is that we are using two loops, and if we are starting the position of, let's say, if you want to insert into the zeroth position, this is like almost close to n square kind of time complexity, because this will go for n's time, and it will go from, let's say, counter is, let's say, n from top, like from like right side to almost towards the left side. So it's like it can go in a worst case scenario n square time complexity, and n square is of course nobody likes. So how we can make it better? So create let's create a second part of it, and to save time again, I'll create enough. Okay, let's create this insert element 2, and let's see how this works. So everything else remains the same, only thing is the inner part will change. Okay, inner part, I mean the number of loops and all thing will change. So how we can do that is, instead of having two loops, we can do in one loop itself. How? Let's see. So we can just have a one for, but we need to, this will be a little smarter for, right? Because we want to, be, we are trying to, this method to be efficient so far. And let's say we'll create, I this time won't be from starting, but rather start from end. So I equal to, you know, basically, uh, in this case, we're starting from n is, so n minus 1, we can say. We're starting basically from end. So I equal to n minus 1, and until, the position where that we're looking for is kind of matching. So in this case, we did for second position, and again I minus minus. So what we're trying to achieve is that the moment we got the position, we'll do the right shifting from one loop itself, right? We optimize this for loop. So how we'll do that? We're simply forwarding the array element. So basically on ith plus 1 position, we'll do, will replace with ith position, right? So you can see array I plus 1 equal to array I. Okay. And then once the movement is done, then what will happen? Simply ith position is free, and then I'll put directly position here, because we are not using I outside. So position, and what is the value? X, right? We want to insert X, and it is, why it is giving red here. there is some typo, I guess. We'll fix it. Okay, one braces is missing. Yeah. So now we need to call this one as well. So I'll maybe put here 2. So we are not calling the first one. We are calling it the efficient one. So as you can see in a single loop, we could move the element in the right side, right? In this way, we're starting from end and we're going until basically until POS, right? We have a POS as well, and we are minimizing, and then here we are keeping like freeing the zeroth position, like the position where user are interested to in like which are inserting the value, and then we're filling that position with X. Let's see if this is working. Okay. What is the problem here? Okay, we can name it 2. Yeah. Let's run. So now we're calling the efficient method with just one loop. We are like, we can get the job done. So let's see, we'll do the same exact thing that we were doing earlier. The position is, this is the initial one. Position is, I'm keeping the same for simplicity, and okay, there is, we touch that element looks like. So we'll go till not equal to position, I think. Yeah, we'll just go till position where, because we are going array plus 1, and hence I think it's touching the boundary or going beyond the boundary condition. So okay. Yeah, so second and 100. Okay. Okay, I did some mistake here. Let's see what is that. Array I plus 1 equal to, okay, array I equal to 5. Okay, I see. And of course, I can't be 5 because start from, okay. So fifth element we are putting into, basically I can be 5, but we are starting into the 6th element, and there is nothing called 6th element. Okay, so we need to do here n minus 2 here. So that it is getting room to insert it. Okay. It is getting room to insert the next, I would say next element as well. That's why we need to adjust or the error position carefully, so that it's not going into, yeah, you can see here. So in a second position it is inserted, right? And so as you can see that this is more efficient, and it is kind of I would say it is more efficient and it is faster as well. I think we found one issue there, so let's see if it is fixing there. It's going till position element. There was some, I guess there was some duplicate, so I'm just correcting it. Yeah, so one is coming here properly now. So 2 4 in second position we got 100 and then 185. So it is perfectly working, and it is working with ON. So we could save like from we reached from ONO to ON, and that is more efficient, right? So now you can see that how we can, just to summarize, you can see that how we can insert any element into a specific position, right? And let's see what is pending here. So this code would be available at this place, and this little bit about me. And if you don't want to miss my next video, feel free to subscribe, and see you later. Take care. Thank you.